Flag footballing today. 2 touchdowns.
Two
touchdowns.
Holy shit.
The quarterback.
Did you guys win quickly?
We did.
Okay, that's big as well.
Quarterback's like, okay, just run, like do a stop and go, essentially. To like sell it like you're coming back to me. So I did it, and then like went 2 times in a row. The first time was underthrown, so I had to like come back to it and got the flag taken.
Yeah. How many yards? Like
40.
Nice.
So that's a good play. That's a good play. That's
40 is good.
Play.
And then 2 series later, same guy's covering me, did the exact same thing, and like burned him so hard. He threw this bullet, and it literally just landed right. It was the best feeling of it, like a sports feeling maybe I've ever had.
You just caught it right on the run.
I didn't have to do any. Yeah, in stride, no one caught me. Like full field touchdown.
It is Sunday, March 26th. My name is Alex, and this is another episode of the 51st Parallel Podcast. I'm joined, as always, by Seth and Kyle. How are you two doing this week?
Doing good. Welcome back to my bedroom. Welcome back.
Sore after racking up 150 yards in flag football
Unofficial
today.
Yards.
Unofficial.
Yeah, was anybody out there counting? I don't know, man. I just see a stat sheet.
2 touchdowns, though.
So, we were out in Canmore last night, and we're going out. We're in Canmore, staying at the place, but we get a taxi ride to Banff. By the way, fucking from Canmore to Banff, $50 flat rate.
Right?
Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't know about that. So
you in Decay?
Yeah, me, Decay, his girlfriend Nicole, and Amanda. So we go into town. We go to the Dancing Sasquatch.
What is that?
It's just it's like the club in Banff. It's like the one that everyone goes to.
Was it good?
It was pretty good. We get there like right when it opened. It was pretty dead then, but it picked up real quick. It got real fun. But the fucking thing is, I'm sitting there and I'm wearing this sweater, a nice shirt. It's the sweater it's like a white cardigan. Some people might say it's an old man sweater.
Okay.
But some kid comes up to me at some point in the night. He's like, or some guy, and he's like, "Oh man, that's the sickest fucking sweater. You look so cool. I want to look just like you in 5 years." And I was like, "What?" And I look at him like, "How old are you?" And he's like,
5 years?
Yeah. I'm like, How old are you, man? He's like, "I'm 23, dude." I'm like, "Dude, I'm 23 as well. Like, what the fuck?"
How old did he look?
He looked like he was 18, so I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to sound too young, but like, still, I was like, "What the fuck?" What?
I would like to look like you in 5 years.
Yeah, I'm like, it was weird, man. It was a really weird.
That's like a compliment, but also like a fuck you guys.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? He left pretty quick after that, but
So you're not wrong. It is an old man sweater.
it is absolutely. It's an old man sweater, but I love it. It's comfy as hell. All right, we got a great episode for you today. We're talking March Madness, a little bit of NBA standings talk, getting into Devin Booker's 70-point performance against Boston last week. And then we're talking as well the Blue Jays opening lineup, and also we've got a soccer player who has won too many people in his acceptance speech. Let's get things kicked off right away. Now March Madness is down to the Final Four with South Carolina taking on Gonzaga and Oregon facing North Carolina this upcoming Saturday. It's been a great tournament, but Kyle, we're going to start with you. What was the best story of the weekend for you?
The best story, maybe the most interesting story, was watching Lonzo Ball put up a stinker against the UK. Man played 38 minutes, nearly the whole game.
As he always does.
He does.
Yeah.
Only 10 points on 4 of 10 shooting, 8 assists, okay, but 4 turnovers. You're supposed to be, everyone's talking about you being the number 1 pick in the draft this year. You got to be more of a game changer than 10 points in the biggest game of your life.
I agree with you to an extent, and I was watching the game with one of my buddies, and he was saying the same thing. But if you watch Lonzo Ball for more than one game, he's not really the type of point guard who takes a lot of shots in general. And he doesn't really give a shit about this. So you can just tell by his body language. He was just playing the game like any other game. He came for this year as a one and done. Like, did he want to win? I'm sure he wanted to win, but I honestly don't think he wanted it as much as many other players. And I think when the game was coming down to it and they were down, he was playing hard, but he was still playing the game as is, and he wasn't... In his heart, there was no passion where you saw him and he...
Slacking defense.
You know, there wasn't like... He wasn't just like coming out of his body with energy and passion to go for it.
It looked like he was playing the first game of the season, not the, possible last game of the season.
I still think he's going to be the first overall pick, and I still think he's worthy of it because as a point guard, like, he's a pass-first point guard. Like, everyone thinks he's a crazy player because he's big and he can shoot the three, but mainly he's just a great passer. But he didn't take over the game in general, even with his assists at the end, and like he didn't demand the ball enough. So like I get that, but I didn't really expect. That's why I was kind of worried about them because I knew he didn't really care. Even after the game, right away, he was like, "Thanks UCLA,
instantly.
I appreciate it. Like it's been a good year, but like obviously I'm going pro."
Didn't he declare for the NBA draft within like an hour of after?
Oh yeah,
right away.
What do you think Papa Ball had to say about it? Do you think Papa Ball was pissed, or do you think he's like, all right, whatever?
He's probably happy he didn't get hurt in the tournament. He can go in like clean to the draft because he obviously hopes he's going to be the number 1 pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
You probably wanted him to do a little bit better.
Even if he is, though, he's going to go to Brooklyn, who point guard is Jeremy Lin.
No, he doesn't go. Brooklyn traded their pick.
Boston has it. You're right.
Boston actually has that pick if Brooklyn's the number 1 pick.
God, that's scary.
That's a good team to go.
So they would probably get him.
But they already have Isaiah Thomas.
You still get Lonzo Ball. You still get him.
Fair.
In my opinion. Because he's just, and he's like 6'6" still, so he's he's a different type of player.
Mm-hmm. So Seth, what was your best story of the weekend?
For me, the biggest thing was Kansas going down to Oregon. Kansas looked unbeatable in the first 3 games. They were beating people by an average of 30 points. And then they came in to play Oregon, and Oregon's got a team that's really athletic, 2 stars in Tyler Dorsey and Dylan Brooks, but I didn't really think they had a chance. And they led almost the entire game. They dominated.
Josh Jackson got those 2 fouls like 2 minutes into the game, didn't play for the first 11 minutes,
and
then he did nothing until the last 7 minutes.
He did not. I know he was honestly not even really into the game, but you still expect Frank Mason and the rest of the guys to kind of pick up the.
Frank Mason had 17 points at half.
I know, but then at the rest of the half, he still ended with 21, so he went 8 of 20 shooting.
Ooh.
I mean, at that point, you got it. In the second half, they were down, and they just never came back.
Well, their best player was Lucas, the big man.
And then,
I think.
Okay, Bill Self is now 2-5 in Elite 8 games. He's been to the tournament 14 times. 7 times he's gone to the Elite 8, and he's 2-5. That's a brutal record in the Elite 8. And that's as the 1 seed. So he's only been to the Final Four once, and he's won it.
He's won it, yeah.
And he won it. Sorry, he's been to the Final Four twice, and he won it once. But he's 2-5. I mean, they should have won yesterday. They have the better team. They have 3 guys who are going to the NBA. That's a huge loss on their end. I'm pumped that Oregon one because that was a baller game. Tyler Dorsey looks like a baller out there. 27
and they're
points.
missing potentially one of their best players too, Chris Boucher.
Bouchard is out, but Bell is looking like he's a beast.
They're led by like 2 of the 3 leaders are Canadians right now. Ennis, who is Tyler Ennis' little brother.
He's like 25. That guy.
He's older brother. He's the older brother to Tyler Ennis.
He's 25 because he transferred to Villanova and then took a year because when he transferred he's transferred twice. So he's taken 2 years off. It's like his 3rd year, but he's actually been in school for 5 years.
But Dylan Brooks too.
Canadian.
3rd year. Junior, I guess that would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, he was good too.
Quick shout out to Swaggy P Bracket, who's in our March Madness tournament right now. They're currently leading us, but they've predicted in the 99th percentile of everyone doing a March Madness bracket. Right now they're ranked 105,000th out of however many millions of people played this. So I mean, good for you, Swaggy P. I think you're going to be kicking everyone's ass.
Shout out to Swaggy P Bracket.
Do you know who that is?
I have no idea.
That's funny.
I don't think Seth made one, did he? Did you?
Not in years. I already had 2.
Company
man. Just
I was like, how many brackets am I going to fill? And no one else was in it.
How many did you do?
Man,
2.
we ended up with a decent number in ours at the end.
Yeah, we had 11.
Yeah.
That is a decent number.
Yeah.
I made 2 of them and so did Kyle, but you know.
Shut up.
Next topic.
So I mentioned it before. We've got the Final Fours come down to South Carolina versus Gonzaga and Oregon facing North Carolina. Who you got?
First thing first, we're going to be there. I'm going to live vicariously through Seth. I'm going to be living vicariously through you.
Seth's going to be live Snapchatting the whole thing.
Sick.
I've had like a pretty awesome March. Like I went to Vegas for the first weekend, partied, got fucked up, gambled. Now it's my brother's bachelor weekend. We go to Phoenix for the Final Four. We've seen the championship game.
Oh!
So I'm pretty stoked up.
Unreal.
It's going to be sick. I leave Friday, come back Tuesday.
It's going to be just
I'm
amazing.
going to be fucking around at work.
So who are you rooting for while you're down there?
Okay, at first I wanted UCLA to get there because I have a UCLA jersey, so I was like, I can wear this.
Yeah, that's just that's thrifty, man. I like that.
Now Oregon's there. I have an Oregon t-shirt, so I'll probably wear that t-shirt. Now in terms of who I think is going to win, good stories, blah, blah, blah. Oregon looks like they're on another level of compete right now. They're just balling out every game, and they have leaders. Tyler Dorsey, Dylan Brooks, we've talked about them. They're great. The team that I think actually has a really good chance to win it all now is Gonzaga. They've just been given the easiest path, it seems, to the finals. They played Northwestern, which was like they almost lost, which was a pretty easy matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got West Virginia, which was tough, but West Virginia can't score. That was the only tough matchup they had. Then they had Xavier. I mean, an 11th seed to get to the Final Four, pretty easy.
And now they get
trounced
South
them.
Carolina.
And then I was gonna say, and then they get South
South
Carolina.
Carolina seriously plays like hard.
They play hard. They're a great team. Thornwell, SEC Player of the Year, 21 points averages.
Leading the tournament this year.
I still think though, like, could you, if you're like a fan of Gonzaga, could you just not get on your knees and thank God that this is the route you have? They're total. Like, I think they're.
Well, they better have lots of God guys on their team.
I mean, their games have been way closer than you want them to be for who they've been playing.
Yes, but they've been just getting really lucky, I feel, and I think they have a really good shot to get to the finals.
They do.
They're a really experienced team, and if they get to the finals, either team they're playing, if they play them, they have the size advantage with Karnowski, so they're going to have the ability to probably out-muscle a team, so they got a shot no matter what.
Totally.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I don't think you see them go up against, if it's UK or, sorry.
UNC?
If you see them go up against UNC or Oregon, I think there's so much more talent on those two teams.
Yeah, that would be a good game versus Oregon.
Gonzaga's really good. They have lots of those like 4th and 5th year senior transfer players.
Nigel William-Goss.
Yeah, dude, they have experience. They have three transfer players this year that are like leading them.
If they play Oregon, I think they could beat Oregon. I honestly don't know if they could beat UNC.
I'm a big experience guy. I think that
I
counts for a
haven't
lot.
watched much UNC, but I don't know. They're good every year.
They're
And
big time. And they were in the
cleaned
finals
up.
last year. They're on a mission to get
Yeah.
back and win it, right?
Yeah.
They lost on last second buzzer beater.
Roy Williams looking for his 3rd title.
In terms of the Final Four, like it's not let's be real. It's not the sexiest Final Four. South Carolina, like, okay, cool, like great story, but not even a major that's like in there that you're like Wichita State or you're pumped up about. Still cool though. Oregon, cool, but like, and Gonzaga, a big school that never goes there. But it does feel like it's missing, one or. I feel like maybe if it's not a bad Final Four, but I kind of wish it was a little bit better pieces.
Would it be kind of cool to see South Carolina versus North Carolina? Like, as someone who doesn't live anywhere near there, I don't know if there's actually a
That would be
rivalry or
cool,
not,
but like it would be a domination, I feel.
I feel like you're not giving South Carolina the credit they deserve.
I'm not giving them the credit they deserve, even though I watch them every game. I'm like, damn, these guys
They
play
took
hard
down
ass
our
team.
dogs at Baylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was like, that was the one game I expected them to win. I was like, well, this is going to be a wrap.
I know, I actually did too.
All right, so final decision. Seth, you're going with Gonzaga. Kyle, you're going with
UNC.
UNC. I'm going to go with Gonzaga for the sole reason that I picked them to win my bracket, and I haven't given up all hope yet. Still going to get
Nice.
second place.
I'll have my Oregon t-shirt on, though, and my Oregon hat.
Super
Yes, I mean,
fan.
like you said, you're the Oregon super fan, Seth.
I'm a super fan.
Next topic.
As of March 26, Boston Celtics have tied up with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the standings. Now, Cleveland does still have 2 games in hand, but is this a big deal?
Yes, this is a big deal. The Cavs have been slumping so hard in March. LeBron has been bitching his ass off all March.
Mm-hmm.
They keep adding players. Players keep going down. Players keep coming back and doing nothing. Like J.R. Smith, he hasn't really brought anything to the table since he's been back.
It's going to take him time to get it. He came back from a broken wrist. Like, basketball's a game of time. Give him some time.
Okay, fine. Give him a little time. But Boston's hot. Isaiah Thomas is on fire. I even think Washington could maybe catch them too. Like, look at their recent losses. They lost to Denver. They lost. Washington's good. They lost to Miami twice, right?
They're
they
losing
lost
teams.
They
They're not
lost to
contenders.
Boston.
I'm pretty sure they're like 5-7 this month. They're having a
Yeah,
brutal
it's been a
record.
really
Yeah.
bad month for them.
And, like, LeBron's been talking up to the media a lot, which makes me a little bit more concerned than if he'd be being quiet. I mean, I've never really seen LeBron be this vocal about how bad his teammates are.
Okay, I gotta check y'all. LeBron does this every year. Do you guys know
Yeah.
who LeBron is? Like, every single year, the Cavs or whatever team LeBron's on, they have this little mini slump where LeBron goes to the whip hand and he starts calling out people and he'll maybe get the coach fired or he'll maybe do something else. This is what happened last year. He was calling them out last year. At
Does it
this
not seem
point.
a little bit more this year, though? I mean, getting into fights with sports announcers, with who?
I honestly
Barkley,
feel like
or-
this is typical LeBron going to the whip hand, doing what he does, calling out his teammates, as he always does. I feel like this is what happened at this time of the year last year when they were kind of slumping a little bit too, and then he called out everybody.
Okay, so you're LeBron and you come out and say, none of my teammates have any toughness.
He didn't say it like that. You're like taking it out of context because
Okay,
I watched the video and it wasn't
So
like
did I.
that.
But
He didn't say none of my teammates have toughness.
he said, we don't have toughness. I'm the only one who does.
No, he didn't say that. It said it ain't about a group. It's about individuals. We got to do more. Do more. It ain't about a group. You can't preach toughness. You got to have it. And then someone asked...
And then he said, I have
No, and then someone asked him about him, blah, 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 and he's like, personally, I had opportunities where I have to be better. But one thing, I always bring toughness to the game. I know that for sure. What's wrong with saying that? What is wrong with saying that? He didn't say, I bring toughness and my teammates don't. He said, we got to bring toughness. You can't preach
But he didn't
toughness. You got to have
insinuate it.
it.
He's like, I'm bringing toughness, but we need to bring toughness, is what he's saying.
And I think he's allowed to say that. Again, he's the best player on the team. He always goes to the whip hand. He has to go to the whip hand.
Man,
they need to be better, and he has to say it. What's wrong with him saying it?
They do need to be better. In their last games, 127 points against, 105 against, 113 against, 120 against.
When a team is
108
struggling,
against.
When a team is struggling, is the leader of the team not supposed to call it?
He is.
Maybe not publicly.
Why not?
like
He's
that.
done it before in the past, and it led them to a championship.
Well, we'll see.
I guess we'll see if it works this time, yeah.
It's like that's what he's always done in his
LeBron,
career. So I don't see it as like a shocking play now. And I honestly don't think it matters if they get caught by Boston or not, because the year they went to the finals previously, they weren't the 1 seed. And even if they're not gonna have a better record than Golden State or I guess San Antonio if they play them in the
No,
end.
they won't have home.
So they're not going to have
advantage.
home court in the West. They don't need home court in the East. And again, I know you love Boston. Again, they've never won a playoff series with this group
As
of
this
guys.
group, yeah.
They've never even won one round. So chill off, Cleveland. I guarantee you again in June they're still going to be in the finals.
Next topic.
So Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns puts up 70 points in a loss to the Celtics on Friday. Was the performance lucky, good, or selfish?
That performance was great. Has 70 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds on 51% shooting. Only shot 11 times from 3. Very low percentage when you have 70 points. Or very low amount of times to shoot from 3 when you have 70 points.
That's a lot of twos.
Went to the free throw line 26 times, made 24 of them. Now here's some things behind this. He's the 4th youngest player to reach 1,000 points. So LeBron and Booker are the only 2 teens in NBA history with back-to-back 30-point games. He's the youngest player to ever score 60. He's one of 11 with 70 now. If you watch this guy, he consistently puts up 25, 30 points. Not every night, but he's only 19 years old. He's still getting his form.
That is pretty impressive for a league where just a 19-year-old coming to tear it up like that. That is pretty good.
Okay, I'll admit, scoring 70 points is insane. As Kyle said, the shooting percentage was over 50%, so it's a great shooting percentage. 24 of 26 from the line. Great numbers. These numbers cannot be denied. But again, for me, okay, the game, quarter 1, Boston was up 29-16, quarter 2, 37-27, so they were dominating them. There wasn't any point in this game where they were even within 10 points. At the end of the game, he had 58 points with 2 to 3 minutes left, and then they just forced him the ball, jacked up shots, committed fouls to make sure he got to 70. I get that. I would do the same. On my team, I would do the same. And then they all celebrated, and they were all super psyched.
But that was fucking weird.
That
Yeah,
is weird. So
they lost
like
the
that.
game. It's huge that they did it. He did it, but they were down the entire game. You still lost. If I was Boston, I wouldn't be pissed. We give up 70,
Who cares, yeah.
Well, and
fuck.
wins a win.
Isaiah Thomas after the game, he's like, we're chasing championships and they're chasing the lottery. So that puts it into perspective.
I can't seeing a team.
But you look at the Suns, man. They have Tyson Chandler doesn't play anymore. He's not hurt. He just doesn't play anymore.
Yeah, well, they're chasing the
They're
lottery.
playing. They literally in that game they had 8 players available to play.
Remember they were doing. They showed when it was the Sweet 16 that they had the youngest lineup ever in the NBA, and that lineup was actually younger than 4 of the 5 NCAA teams playing that week.
Really?
The only team that was younger than them, I believe, was Kentucky.
Right? Yeah.
Wow. That is
Let's
crazy.
put here just a comparison to Kobe's last 60-point game, his last game of his career. He went 22 of 50, 6 for 21, and only went to the free throw line 12 times. So in comparison, if I'm looking at individual stats,
you're giving me Kobe's last game of his career where he's jacking up shots.
Seriously, yeah.
Go
Kobe's
give
getting
me
shots all
Kobe's
day.
last. I'm gonna fuck about Kobe. Those stats me after. Those stats are the most outliner stats. I will give respect to Devin Booker, but for me, if you score, it has to be a tight game. Like, this wasn't a natural 70, if that makes sense.
It wasn't
to
a
you.
natural 70, but like if you put up 70 points and your
Yes.
team still loses, can you really blame Booker?
No,
or
I'm
can you
not
blame
saying
his
it's not
team?
even a big deal that they lost, but it was like, they were losing throughout, and it was big, and at the end, they kind of forced the 70. But I still respect it. Like, I still respect him. I still respect it. But it's weak on their part for being so happy.
That was weak and fucking weird.
Super, that's weird.
Okay, in comparison to LeBron's 81-point game then.
You mean Kobe's?
Kobe's 81-point game. He was actually, like, insane. 28 for 46, 28 of 46.
Whoa!
18
Good.
for 20 from free throw.
Mm-hmm.
He only had 2 assists, though. So.
Okay,
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean, you can't score 82 points without being a little selfish.
Also played 4 less minutes than Booker.
I remember, okay, it's weird. I actually remember watching that game as a kid. They pull him out. They pull him out of the game.
He could have gotten to 100.
See, if they would have done on the Lakers what the fucking Phoenix Suns did, Kobe would have gotten to 100. If they were insta-fouling and keeping Kobe out, he was jacking up trays.
Next topic.
Blue Jays announced the starting rotation going into the season. It's going to be Marco Estrada, J.A. Happ, Marcus Stroman, Francisco Liriano, and then Aaron Sanchez in the 5 spot with Matt Latos as a possible 6th starter. I don't know about you guys, but I am stoked about this starting lineup. I mean, having Aaron Sanchez in the 5 spot, that blows my mind that he's our 5th best pitcher.
Seriously, we have to have good pitchers to be able to go, like, at least 7 innings every game.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, unless our bullpen somehow gets better this year. Matt Latos is actually going to be in the bullpen and then used as a 6th starter when they need one.
Yeah, good spot start.
So I'd like to see Roberto Osuna evolve into a starters or more of a bullpen role of like a 2-inning role. I get that he's the shutdown guy, but like we've seen him work multiple innings and
He
get
can work
6
multiple
outs.
innings, but having a closer is more valuable than having a guy who
I
plays
agree. I
like
think having a
5
guy
and
who
6.
can really come in and shut down that 9th inning is better than having a better setup.
He was gonna be a starter like initially to
That's
start his
what he was
career.
drafted as.
But then he was having so much success as a closer, and he actually likes it. So I think like
Oh, okay.
And he can handle the pressure really well. Like he doesn't seem to feel it at all.
if we needed starter help, I would kind of like understand what you're saying. But right now, this is a perfect rotation.
Yeah. Now looking at this lineup, I'm gonna tell you my favorite thing about this lineup right now. Imagine being a team, you see Aaron Sanchez one day just throwing his heat, and then you get Marco Estrada with that sick changeup the next day.
And then back to J Happ.
And then back to J. Happ throwing heat the next day. I mean, how are you going to make that adjustment from day to day? I love that.
I think
Seeing
it's
different
great
guys each
for
day.
Sanchez to be in the 5 spot too, because like remember
so
he is
little pressure.
he is a young kid still, guys. Like it was
So
1
is
year.
Stroman though too.
Exactly. So to have him kind of backed up a little bit where he isn't the ace right away, it's like, oh, we expect another 250 plus innings right away. You know, he can chill. He can be the 5th starter. He'll play days where people aren't expecting much versus other not so great starters where he can kind of
They'll
dominate.
dominate.
Yeah.
I think it's a great position for him, and I think it's really good for the entire rotation, to be honest.
I agree, and like I think Estrada leading it off, he's the kind of the veteran right now. He's the guy who's been around the block, showing he can do it consistently.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
How great is he, hey?
Mm-hmm. And
He's
he kind of
just
came out of
been
nowhere
like
for me,
yeah,
like,
that playoff
a
performance.
gold mine. He is an absolute gold mine for us.
And we have like two more years, $8 million a year.
And like
This is the last year. This is our last year.
The craziest thing to me is going into the season, we're talking Blue Jays, and we're hyped about the pitching, which is what I'm pretty stoked about.
When we still have
The bat,
one
the
of the
bat
top
should still be good.
offenses.
The bat should still be good.
Yeah, still got Jose, Russ, Tulo, Devin Travis is coming back.
Now, one thing is, I'm scared of Red Sox. The Red Sox have made their team significantly better.
Sorry, I didn't even mention Josh Donaldson.
Yeah,
the
don't
MVP.
forget about Josh Donaldson, our
Don't forget about
MVP.
JD.
Rocking the new haircut, looking fly. But I think, honestly, if it weren't for the Red Sox being in our division, I think the Jays would be a shoo-in to win a division. But with the Red Sox in there, it's
I
going to
think
be
the
a fight for
Yankees
the
are
long
gonna have a
term.
bounce back year as well. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be a battle this year for us. But I think we're like talent wise, we're a very good squad,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone on our team, we're a good clubhouse. We compete. So I think it'll be another good year for us. I think we'll get in.
It wouldn't shock me to see 3 teams from the AL East in the playoffs.
Again,
Well,
it could be like a 2 teams in the
Baltimore could
wild
even
card
make it, man.
game. Like so, it'll be a long year for us. It'll be a tough year, but like I think we're good, and this group of guys is battle tested together.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
if we can stay healthy, we're set. Like,
And you know Joey Bats is going to be fucking motivated. 1 year contract. He wants the money.
He wants it.
He's
Absolutely.
going off this year. I know it.
yeah.
In the World Baseball Classic, he was going off.
Yeah, and he had a little bit of back
Man,
tightness.
that's
but I mean,
why the World Baseball Classic got me excited for the season.
Mm,
Watching
money makes the
Stroman
world
in
go
that
round.
finals,
oh,
like he was
if
like
he's
He's
pitching that
lighting it
good
up.
this early in the season, like,
seriously.
great.
And Liriano, older guy, he's probably going to be relied on to eat some of those Dickey innings that we had to
Yeah, he can come in. He can be a better Dickey, I think, is what he's going to come in and do, which is, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So, I mean, overall, I know I'm stoked for this lineup. Seth, you sound like you're stoked. Kyle, you stoked?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, sweet. It's going to be a great season for the Blue Jays. I can't wait till we're talking baseball on the podcast on a weekly basis.
Seriously.
Next topic.
This week we're doing a new segment called Meathead of the Week, and we're going to South Africa, post-game soccer interview. Guy scores 2 goals, and he's stoked. Just listen to what he thinks.
Thank you very much for giving me this. And I appreciate my fans also. My wife and my girlfriend. My wife, sorry to say. I'm so sorry, my wife. Listen, I love you so much. I love you so much from my heart. So, must keep on supporting me. And thanks for to come to the game.
I'd like to thank my wife and my girlfriend. Oh, I'm so sorry. I love my wife with all my heart.
Respect to a player out here. This guy, listening to Portland, that Drake song. This girl got a 5S with the screen crack. Still hit him back.
That he's got a shout out to her. Well, he's shouting out to his wife.
That's a straight up, you a good ass side hoe if you give him a shout out on live television.
Seriously.
Like, makes you bring in that bomb pussy.
Makes me wonder if he saw her right before the game and she gave him a little extra motivation,
But what's his fucking problem? You gotta be better than that.
Straight up. Did you hear his lame ass excuse he came out with a couple days after? Kyle, what was the excuse he came out with?
Yeah, he told the media that he calls his daughters his girlfriends.
I was gonna say, if he didn't say sorry so many times after and stuff,
it would have been maybe
he could have saved it in a different manner, but he knew he fucked up right away. Which
Seriously,
that's the issue, right?
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
So that concludes it. Meathead of the Week.
Next topic.
Here's your weekly rundown for the things we didn't have time to talk about. Earlier tonight, the Clippers blew an 18-point lead in the final 5 minutes to the Kings at home. Is this the Clippers just being the Clippers?
No, this is the end of it all. They're done. This is it. This is the moment you look back and they're like, it all ended right here, right now.
Dustin Johnson and John Ram combined for 862 yards off of the 12th tee at the WGC Dell Technologies Match Play Tournament.
These guys are beasts. Dustin Johnson, number 1 player in the world. I think he's going to have a great season with Paulina on top of him all season. Lucky guy.
Very
and John
lucky.
Rahm, probably the odds-on favorite to be the Rookie of the Year this year.
Oilers and Flames now have a 99.9 and a 99.6 chance, respectively, to make the playoffs. Do we get to see the Battle of Alberta in the playoffs this year?
God, man, I'm praying so. I hope so.
So MLB opening day is 1 week away. The Blue Jays play the Orioles in Baltimore on April 3rd. Home opener isn't until April 11th against Milwaukee, with J.A. Happ being the expected pitcher at that game.
Let's go. Hopefully we're 4-2 or 5-2 at that point. Off to a good start to the season.
Richard Sherman claims that Colin Kaepernick is being blacklisted from the NFL due to politics rather than skill. Is this true?
Honestly, I can't say or deny that fact until the draft is complete, because he's not the only free agent quarterback out there.
Anonymous NFL owner says there's no opposition to Raiders moving to Vegas. Are they playing in Vegas within 3 years?
Oh, believe it when I see it.
Again, yeah.
John Harbaugh changes from $8 Walmart khakis to $128 Lululemon khakis. Has he changed?
Okay, I own those pants. I wear those every day. I don't wear jeans. Those are the best pants in the world. Buy those pants. He's the right man.
The man is a sellout.
They're the best pants. They're the best pants. Get those pants.
All right, that's been us for another week of the 51st Parallel Podcast. Thanks a lot for listening. Got anything to say on the way out?
No, man, I'm enjoy my time in Phoenix, get fucked up, watching basketball.
We out.
Peace.